Let's turn to Rick Barrett to talk more about what is happening in the dairy industry. He has written extensively about it for the past 15 years at the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. In fact, the headline of one of your recent articles, Rick, was pretty telling, I thought. It read, "Americans love soda, fancy water, and fake milk. Can the dairy industry keep up?" What's the answer?
Yeah, it's been a tough time for the dairy industry. I mean, the good news is that more than 90% of Americans still have, still have milk in the refrigerator. That's the good news. The bad news is about 40%, they're drinking about 40% less than they did in the 1970s.
All right. Rick, as you get your earpiece put back in, let me just ask you, the other issue that dairy farmers have been facing are rising tariffs and the trade war. And those are external events that they really have no control over.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's been a very difficult time for them. I mean, milk prices peaked in about mid-2014. And then it was a combination of things. It was runaway production and the export markets turned sour. And that's when things started to collapse. It was mid to late 2014 when prices just started on a downward trend.
But is anybody winning in this industry? Is it just continuing to implode overall? Or what about Walmart? I mean, we mentioned that they started doing their own milk processing 2 years ago, and coincidence or not, that's when Dean Foods started to lose money. So are there winners and losers in all of this?
Well, it's been difficult for Dean Foods because when Walmart opened its bottling plant in Indiana, that took away a pretty substantial piece of business for Dean Foods.
So how do you see this playing out, Rick? I mean, I know milk prices are going a little bit higher. Is that, do you think, the start of a trend?
We certainly hope so. I mean, milk prices have been on the mend lately. They're a little bit higher than they were. And for 2020, it's looking better. Now, the situation, though, is that milk prices, even as they're coming up for farmers, it's going to take a long time for them to dig themselves out. I mean, a lot of them are behind on their bills. The debts have piled up. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, what struck me from reading your series of articles that you did this fall about the industry is that it's about the local dairy farmers in your part of the country. Is it going to get better for them anytime soon?
We sure hope so. It looks like 2020 will be a little better year for them. But again, it's just going to take a long time. For some of them, there's been so much damage has been done to the balance sheet, they might not be able to recover.
Rick Barrett with the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Rick, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.